Good news, everybody. Adam Schiff is drafting legislation to set up a 9/11 style commission to review the coronavirus response. Because that's what the American people want. More scandals, investigations, public hearings, and the orange man is bad. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. It's Adam Schiff's thing. But, we went through all of this for 3 years. And because of this, because of their nonsense, we were distracted a bit on the coronavirus. Now, Trump actually gave the Democrats a bit of a free pass on this one, saying when he was asked about it, he said maybe he was a little distracted, but he doesn't think he could have done a better job, even if they didn't impeach him. That's Trump's a bigger man than me in that regard, I guess. And that's surprising because I've got a lot of criticism for his arrogance and his ego. But he gave it up. And I think, you know what? I can respect that. He doesn't want to just say the Democrats are bad like some people do, although he does. Don't get me wrong, but he did walk it back a little bit. You know what, man? They're going to do it again. If you thought it was going to end with impeachment, then you would be wrong. The Hill reports, Rep. Adam Schiff is drafting legislation that would set up an independent commission that would investigate why the country was unprepared for the coronavirus pandemic, saying, after Pearl Harbor and 9/11, we looked at what went wrong to learn from our mistakes. The House Intelligence Committee chairman said in a tweet, once we've recovered, we need a nonpartisan commission to review our response and how we can better prepare for the next pandemic. Oh, I love it. I hope in the review they call you to testify and ask why you were giving these speeches for an impeachment you knew would fail with dubious evidence at a time when we should have been preparing for the coronavirus. I hope he calls himself. I hope other people, the Republicans, demand that he testify. And I hope this time the Senate actually gets on board with it. Schiff did not give specifics regarding when the legislation will be dropped, but suggested it would be after Congress finishes the task at hand, mulling a series of stimulus packages aimed at alleviating the economic impact of the pandemic. Sources familiar with the legislation told NBC News the legislation is very preliminary. You know that Adam Schiff was still investigating Donald Trump after the impeachment ended. Apparently, he had a series of investigations because the only thing they have is media lies and investigations. We will need to delay the work of the commission until the crisis has been abated to ensure that it does not interfere with the agencies that are leading the response, Schiff told the Washington Post. But that should not prevent us from beginning to identify where we got it wrong and how we can be prepared for the next pandemic. You know, on the surface, it sounds like a good idea. But you know what's going to do? Did we really do a bad job? Was it Trump's fault? You know what I think an honest review would find? Trump may have been bad, but the Democrats did less. So if you have a real criticism, you can talk to them about it. Why were you focused on impeachment instead of the real problems Americans faced? The administration has come under scrutiny in the past month for what critics called a late response to the virus. Critics have also pointed out that in 2018, the administration disbanded the National Security Council unit focused on pandemic preparedness. I don't know if that's true because I've seen an AP fact check pushing back on it, but I'll tell you what. You want to investigate the president again? I don't care at this point. Good. Give the president bigger and bigger ratings. He'll raise more and more money. It's what keeps happening. They don't learn. They seriously don't learn. You know what Adam Schiff is doing? He's putting his hand in the fire, saying ow, and then putting it right back in. He wants to investigate Trump's response. Trump's approval rating is higher than it has ever been right now. You know, it's getting boring for me to say. I'm actually contemplating why I'm even bothering to talk about any of this. Yes, we get it. Once again, Donald Trump's approval rating has spiked. Now, look, his approval rating has dipped periodically, but it's been an upward trend. So what am I supposed to do? Donald Trump's approval rating went down a little bit today, but it's still higher than it usually is. That's not news. It is news when it breaks a new record, and it's broken a new record for the past 3 days in a row. 47.3, or was it 47.0, 47.3, 47.6. Great. There's your news. And the Democrats think they're going to investigate and impeach this guy. And when it comes to the coronavirus, Donald Trump's approval rating is completely above board. Every single poll they have available. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 available polls in the aggregate. Donald Trump's handling of coronavirus, 50.2% approval plus about 4 percentage points. Adam Schiff wants to investigate, though. You know what? Let me make a prediction for you. Donald Trump, second quarter fundraise haul, $200 million. Maybe it's a little high. Donald Trump, Q3 fundraising haul, $250 million. You know why? I'm not making those numbers up. GOP online fundraising platform raises nearly $130 million for Republicans in the first quarter. Okay, so maybe not Trump, but like the GOP fundraising is going to be through the roof. Right now, Democrats are coming around to supporting the president. That's why his approval rating is going up. You need to get independents and Democratic voters to support you because the Republicans almost exclusively do. And he is. He's winning them over. So his approval rating on everything is up. The economy, even though the economy is bad, up. And they're raising money. The Hill reports, WinRed, the GOP's digital fundraising clearinghouse, raised more than $129 million for Republicans in the first 3 months of the year, nearly doubling its fundraising from the final quarter of 2019. Man, you got to be kidding me. And I think impeachment is to blame for sure because it's the first quarter, so it includes the impeachment months. The group's president, Garrett Lansing, said in a memo that the $129.6 million total was powered by roughly 1 million donors who each gave 3.2 times an average. The average contribution size was 39.83, he said. WinRed, which launched last summer as the GOP's answer to the Democratic fundraising behemoth Act Blue, was met with a measure of skepticism last year from some in the party. Republicans are counting on the platform to raise money ahead of the November elections as President Trump seeks a second term and House Republicans grapple with a series of high-profile retirements. That is a threat for the GOP, mind you. In the third quarter of 2019, WinRed's first full fundraising period, it reported raising only about $31 million for Republicans. That number more than doubled in the fourth quarter of the year to $70 million. But the 9-figure fundraising haul in the first quarter of 2020 suggests that it has gained traction among Republicans. Lansing said that some 787 campaigns are actively using WinRed in their fundraising efforts. In the memo, Lansing acknowledged a broad disruption to traditional fundraising in the last few weeks, as the coronavirus pandemic has caused businesses to close, markets to reel, and workers to be laid off. But he also said that WinRed helped bring some stability to GOP campaigns due to recurring donations, those in which donors agree to make weekly or monthly contributions through the platforms, very similar to what the Democrats have been doing. About $29 million of the 129.6 came from such recurring donations, Lansing wrote. WinRed centralizes Republican fundraising efforts by creating an online portal donors can use to contribute to the candidate or political committee of their choice. Democrats have used a similar platform, Act Blue, since 2004, allowing the party's candidates and committees to rake in billions of dollars over the years. WinRed's structure also allows cash flush groups like Trump's campaign to direct small dollar donors to down ballot campaigns that may be in need of funding. Donald Trump's support through the roof, cash in pocket, new technological platforms, raising tons of money for the GOP. And I was talking to a friend and they were asking me about liberals and who are you going to be on board for? Are you going to vote for Biden? Are you going to vote for Trump? I mentioned this the other day. I got a message from somebody. I told them basically to wrap this up really quickly. Who's there to vote for? Biden is not a viable candidate. That's absurd. Don't even pretend like you can vote for the guy. And Trump has been winning over independents and Democrats. And it depends on what happens with this crisis. But yeah, Donald Trump is more deserving of re-election of the election in 2020 than anyone else. But I got a call from somebody. A text asking me if I would support a certain Democrat. I don't want to name them because I want to let them be private. But I did mention this the other day, but for those that didn't hear, they asked me if I would consider supporting their fight against a Republican. And I said, no. Well, as much as I don't much care for the Republicans, like, a lot of their policies don't resonate with me. On principles and a lot of cultural issues, we agree, but those aren't even policy issues. It's tribalism. It's ridiculous. I said, look, man, I don't want to go anywhere near the Democrats because I'm worried that if I empower these people in the House, they're going to and this is a departure for me because I made several donations to Democrats in the past. I said, I worry that I empower them to do this. I didn't say this specifically, but here we are. I was like, after the years of scandals and investigations, I do not want to empower this party. The moderates in the House claimed they were going to fight for kitchen table issues. If they actually had, perhaps they could have seen the coronavirus coming. Instead, they all got on board, bent the knee for impeachment, and now here we are. So no, as much as I think, this guy seemed like an okay dude, I'm sorry. You put a D in front of your name and you can just back off. I don't have anything to do with that. You wasted our time. This is your obsession. A commission to review the coronavirus response. What's the response that people like? Most people like what Trump is doing. And now the media is shutting off Donald Trump's press events because they realized that Trump was breaking through. And people were starting to realize the Orange Man, he's bad, but he's not that bad. He's not. And when it comes to coronavirus, he's actually kind of good. But they can't accept it because it means they lose. And the activists and the manipulators and the deceivers in the media just want to win. It's tribalism. I was recently talking with a certain political pundit. We were talking about what it means to be liberal or conservative. And he was like, you're not really a conservative guy or anything like that. And I'm like, but that's not the issue. If we come to an agreement that the polls show Trump is doing well, that does not make either of us conservative. It makes us somebody reading a fact. If I say Trump is not that bad, it doesn't make me a conservative. It makes me someone who's rather ambivalent. Now, if I came out and said, I believe social programs are good and important things in this country, guess what? That's a liberal position, but the liberals are gone. They don't exist anymore. You've got the far left progressives and you've got passive people just saying, I don't know, I guess I don't like Trump because the media told them to. And when it comes to Trump, it's like, yeah, he's got some problems. Not that bad, though. You know what I mean? I don't know what we can expect other than what the Democrats have kept doing. And so we're going to get the investigations. I hope you're all ready for it. And it's going to be mind numbing. I'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thanks for hanging out.